What's good, gente? It's your boy Conejo, man, and yes, man. We got a good one today. As you guys can see on the title, man, and on the thumbnail, we're going to be speaking on a little bit of red on red, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be speaking on an experience that pretty much I was involved in and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, we don't want to, you know what I'm saying, throw no dirt or no shade on other people. But with all that being said, man, I hope you guys like this video. So make sure to hit a like for your boy. Hit that notification in case we go live so you guys can chop it up and, you know what I mean, do a little damn thing over there, you know what I mean? So make sure to hit all those good stuff. And also make sure to subscribe if you haven't, right? So with all that being said, man, let's get started. So pretty much, man, I'm going to be speaking on pretty much a little bit of Clifford and Loco Park. And a little bit of the set tripping that they had going on, especially in my generation at least, right? And I'm going to tell you how it started and what happened at the end, right? To kind of make things die off. So, my hood ended up taking a couple members that happened to be from Loco Park. It wasn't Risky, it was Rascal and who else? And there was another homie, man. I can't recall his name right now, but it'll probably come at me, towards the end of the video. They ended up taking two members from that hood. And one of the reasons why we're pulling or embracing people from other neighborhoods, or that neighborhood at least, it was because at that time, that neighborhood happened to be considered no good, right? In the sense that their older homies happened to be dropouts and people that had told in the past, right? Or dry snitch. I'm not quite sure. I'm not gonna get into the details, but technically, these two individuals or this family happened to have control over Local Park. And a lot of the neighborhoods that were political and knew a little bit of what time it was, knew that those individuals were no good, and that technically, man, they were getting schooled badly, right, by these individuals. Which now, I mean, it kind of makes sense, you know what I'm saying? It's like me wanting to take over Clifford, right? It's kind of like if they didn't have no older homies or something. That's I kind of see where they're coming from. But at the end of the day, I mean, it wasn't their place, and they had no say so. So we ended up taking a couple of members, like I said, because we didn't consider them to be an actual hood that was actually politicking and being with the functions when it came down to the whole norte and all that type of stuff. So we ended up getting a couple of members. Well, of course, that brought a little bit of heat to the hood, right? Especially because those individuals that were still claiming to be local parkers, or that they were from Local Park, had a little bit of hate, you know. They were set tripping. They were like, "Hey, bro, these fools ended up taking a couple of homies from the hood." So with time passed through, like as time passed through, a lot of homies like that were from Local Park were kind of looked down at, right? But they still were able to fucking have their flag and say that they were local parkers and all that, right? But the homies from the hood and other neighborhoods didn't really take them too quite serious, especially because of those individuals that happen to run those neighborhoods. So with time, I mean, that thing they did get fixed, bro. I mean, I'll just say that right now so that people will be like, damn, man, that hood was all bad, and they happen to know some individuals that happen to be hitters, right? Because at the end of the day, they do have some hitters. With time passing, as I said, time was passing. We used to have a lot of encounters and run-ins. We had a lot of business when it came to that little area. If you happen to know, it happens to be close to the levee, and if you're into that illegal activities, you're gonna be passing through there a lot. So we would do some business over there, and with time, I mean, you guys gotta understand, we happen to carry a can or whatever, right? Some homies ended up blasting up the hood in their little alley, that's right across the street from the little park, right? And apartments and stuff. They happen to have an alley, and we happen to blast up the hood, a big ass CML, right? And hey, we're like, but we didn't do it with the whole intent of set tripping, right? That's why I made a video a while back, pretty much saying like, hey, people really got to pay attention of where they actually tag up and put little things, right? Like put your neighborhood and stuff like that, because certain individuals will feel disrespected, homie. And apparently they felt disrespected to the point where they crossed us out. And just a little cross out, right, can lead to something really serious. So what ended up happening, they ended up crossing out the homies, and pretty much we happened to pass through there, and we happened to see that it was crossed out. I don't recall them actually putting their neighborhood over it, but it was the same color, and pretty much like a couple blocks, not even a block, a couple feet away, they happened to post up their actual neighborhood, and you could tell it was done at the same time with the same spray paint. So the homies they started tripping. I know I got upset, right? I was like, man, these little marks trying to cover us up. We're like, especially at this time, we didn't really consider them to be a hood or a threat, right? So we're like, man, look at these fools. Um, so what ended up happening? We didn't make no collective vote. We didn't go to a junta and brought this issue up. Nah, bro, the youngsters took it into their own hands, which is something that I mean that shouldn't happen either. But the homies they're set trippers. Homie, I happened to be at one of them that happened to set trip at that time too. So we ended up actually going to Spencer. Let me put pause real quick. Spencer, man, that weather be messing up my nose. You know what I mean? And I know people are gonna be like, "Este güey está haciendo líneas," you know? Nah, puro pedo, homie, nah. It's kind of fresh and it makes my nose get a little watery. So I do apologize, but you can see the smoke. I just took a little hit. You know what I mean? But pretty much all I was saying, bro. I happen to be someone that was a set tripper, you know. So we ended up pretty much getting together with just the youngsters, the little crew, homie, like the ones that used to kick it. We didn't even get every single member. I believe we were about, I want to say 9 deep. We ended up going 9 deep, and in all reality, if we would have brought it as an issue, and if it would have got the okay, we would have probably rolled up like 40 deep, you know. We ended up going like 9 deep, bro, and pretty much we happened to go to their neighborhood. Like I said, all the youngsters like that we seen it was me, Grande. As a matter of fact, I'm not even gonna mention no names. You know what I mean? I won't bring no names because there was individuals that happened to push and run. You know, cause especially when the Placas rolled up. So we were right there smoking, and we're like, you know what, bro? These individuals happen to cross us out. So they were like, what? Everybody got pumped up, right? And plus, we were already like a brew or two in, and we decided to actually go to their hood. We actually decided to park around the area. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't want to take the whips, you know, and push. We're like, you know what? We're pretty much like, we kind of felt like, you know what I mean? Like blood in, blood out, bro. We're taking over this barrio, you know what I mean? So we went deep, homie. We happened to go deep. And we took a couple handballs to like make it seem like we were playing handball, you know. But in all reality, we did go set tripping. So we happened to go sit on their tables, and we noticed that there was no individuals there, right? But we would see some individuals that happen to live right there that were from local park, pretty much looking from the window. And we were like, oh, they're right there, homie. So they see us, right? So we're like, we're just gonna post right here until they actually come out. As you guys could tell, I already said that some individuals ran because of the placas. Yeah, bro, the placas happened to show up, eh? And they didn't show up just because we're in an area that happens to be gang, like, you know what I mean? Nah, they showed up because someone called them in. Because like I said, this is a park, and it's used to actually seeing these individuals post up in that area, you know, especially that's why the hood's called local park. They happen to post up there most of the time, and or live around the area at least, you know. So as we're right there posted, man, I mean, a couple of the homies are they're yelling out river rats, right? They're like, hey, where's all these river rats at? You know, because that used to be a name that they used to be proud of. But with time, they ended up like not liking it because of the whole rat part, right? So we're like, hey, where's all these river rats? And we see some individuals looking from the window, and we happen to see the ones that were pretty much running that neighborhood, and it happened to be Barney, or no, it's not Barney. I think it is Barney or some shit like that, bro. You know what I mean? And I shouldn't even be saying his name. His little brother happened to be someone from that hood that was a hitter, homie. But once he kind of realized that his brother was like they were defected, they pretty much let go. He let go of the hood. You know what I mean? Like he just stopped banging as well. And probably because they wanted him to do something foul to his family members or something, you know. And so we're over here yelling out these little things. We see them looking, bro, but no one wants to run up. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we want. We want some local parkers to come jam us up. And why? So that we can put hands on them, you know, teach them a lesson for crossing out the hood and letting all these other individuals that were from local park that pretty much they weren't going to cross out the hood, you know, and we're going to lay the law down. So pretty much, man, what ended up happening is the cops are, we seen the cops rolling up from the corner, and we did have some individuals, bro, that allegedly had some things, you know, so they happened to run like, you know what I'm saying? They sprinted out of there, you know. So the placas, that's when they came hella deep. Like they just rolled up, like, and they happened to be gang tasks. You know what I mean? You can tell when it's gang tasks when the car's not marked, and they happen to even have a tint on the front of the freaking glass so that you can't really tell who they are. You know what I mean? And they rolled up on us like thick, bro. To be quite honest, and some individuals ran to try to chase the homies. But hey, the homie that happened to run, he's known for having them feet. You know what I'm saying? So he was able to get away. And as they're jamming us up, like, hey, why'd your boy run? Like, why'd your boy run? We're like, I don't know. Like, we don't know. That wasn't our boy. They're like, nah, we seen him run from over here. We're like, nah, that's not our boy, G. You know what I mean? None of us ran. And they kept trying to play the little game. So they're like, you know what? They searched us. Let's be quite honest. No one knew their rights at that time, right? So they pretty much they came and they violated our rights because at the end of the day, most of the individuals that were there didn't even have probation, so they didn't have no right to actually search us. So they started messing with the homies that like did have probation, which happened to be I'll even say their names, Sneaky and Mellow, man. They ended up getting snatched up because the individuals had probation. I had probation, but I knew at that time I was on that 6 months probation, right? So I knew that the 6 months had ran out. I just never checked in. I happened to be one of those individuals before where if I had a probation, I would probably go check in once, twice, and then go ghost on them, right? So I ended up saying that I didn't have probation. So they ran my name, and then they ended up telling me like, "Oh yeah, you're not on probation," because I was already past the 6 months. And they were like, they started telling us like, "Hey, what are you guys doing here?" And we're like, "We're trying to play handball, bro. We're just trying to hit like chill." And they're like, "Nah, come on, guys. We already know what's up. Like, you guys are all from Clifford." You know what I'm saying? They started tattoo checking us. I have a C right here. You know what I mean? That does say 265, and it says Clifford under it, right? So they were like, "You guys are from Clifford. What are you guys doing on this side of town? You guys are supposed to be up there." And we're like, "Technically, bro, it's like we can be anywhere, homie. You know what I'm saying? We're just right here chilling." So they try to play that card with us, like, and we're like, "Well, why are you guys over here harassing us?" So when we told them that, "Hey, you guys are over here harassing us," pretty much they happen to to tell us someone called it in. And the what the placa ended up saying actually, and I don't know if this is true or not, because we know that the police at times tend to lie, right? But I mean, a lot of the homies would be like, they were kind of like saying like, well, if they did lie about some stuff like that, it kind of made it seem like they wanted us to do something to them individuals, right? Because the police straight up told us like, hey, you see those fools standing outside? And that's when we happened to see those two individuals that I was telling you that pretty much ran that hood. They were right outside their house, homie, just looking at us, right? He's like, you see them two individuals? They're like, man, those are the guys that called it in. And I was like, so a couple of the homies just yelled rat, like, you fucking rats. And pretty much the placas like, yeah, man, it's all like, you guys ain't supposed to be here. That's why they called it in, saying that you guys are looking for trouble. And we're like, you miss us with that shit, right? Right now, nah, chales. So at the end of the day, they ended up letting us push off, homie. Right? We ended up pushing off. At least they took in a couple. I mean, they took like three of them in because of the whole probation, and technically if you are on probation and have that gang stuff, you can't technically be kicking it with another member, you know what I mean, or like being around them. So a lot of the homies were like what the fuck. So we ended up pushing, and we're complaining the whole time like, man, these fucking rats. We're calling them all, they are river rats. We're like, we start clowning, getting our clown on, right? And as we're walking around these individuals, we're like, man, fuck you fools, push, you know what I mean, like, come meet us over here. And they were just laughing at us, right? But we're like, whatever, homie, we'll be back, right? And we ended up fucking actually going to the whips, and yeah, we did have some things allegedly in the whips, and my brother happened to have a concealed permit, like, you know what I mean, where he was able to carry it. So that was something that the placas were tripping out on as well. And we ended up pushing, like I said, but we ended up getting a couple calls, right? Because after that, like, a lot of the homies were like, hey, well, what are we gonna do with these individuals, right? So we kind of made it seem like we were trying to push the issue into like a hood thing, like, you know what, we're gonna like get rid of these fools. So we ended up having that, and pretty much, hey, we got the pass, we got the okay, right? At the same time, but at the same time, well, the channel, he had to report his doings, right, to these individuals, and especially because, hey, when it comes to red on red, bro, a lot of people get deemed. That's something that a lot of people complain about, because if they, you know what I mean, if they happen to have a homie that's doing time, he can push that paper for them. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much what ended up happening was that City Hall stepped in. G, City Hall stepped in. They happened to be a carnal, which I'm happy. I'm related to him. You know what I mean? I just put that out there. I'm not gonna throw his name, but I happen to be related to this individual, and so it was really easy to get in contact. So he got in contact with us and pretty much told us like, hey, let me get at your channel, and he got at the channel and pretty much shut us down, homie. They pretty much ended up telling us like, hey, homie, this neighborhood right here, we understand that they have some foods that are no good. We already got at the little youngsters and we fixed the issue, right? Like, in the sense they were taking them under the wing. I don't know if that's still the same thing right now, because now I know that they actually do have some older homies, but they happen to be my age. You know what I'm saying? So they happen to be my age, but now to the youngsters, those are older homies. So they had, I don't know if it runs the same way, but they used to go under the wing for City Hall, right? So I remember when that happened, bro. A lot of the homies still like I said, red on red happens a lot in Watson. So a lot of the homies were like, we don't give two fucks what this individual says, right? But at the same time, our channel's on our bumper. So all that ended up happening was pretty much letting us know, like, hey, if you guys want to put hands on these fools, do it in school and like all these little like spots. It's good, but at the same time, don't go too crazy, because we already got the warning from these individuals that happen to be a little high power, right? And when all that shit was going down, like, don't get me wrong, the hood we left them alone. You know what I mean? We already had took two individuals, and we would see them. You know what I mean? In schools, and they would happen to be hella cool with the Lomeros, because that happened to be another town, and that's another set tripping thing that had gone on, right? That Clifford and the Lomas really didn't get along, so they happened to click up with the individual, and so I mean, we always had a little tension at that time. At the same time that this happened, our hood happened to get a lot of carnales to that parole, and actually gained us up a little bit different, and actually tried to push the whole education, in the sense that they're about the cause, the red on red, and so a lot of the homies were like, oh, okay, so we're not supposed to like politic and set trip like that, you know. So pretty much, man, this is just a little quick story about how the whole little funk started for like the local parkers, right? Because I know there were some occasions and some incidents, right, that had happened with the local parkers and the homies from Clifford, right, that they did handle some, they took care of some business, but at the end of the day, a lot of that stuff stayed on the hush. So we're gonna keep it that way, right? So with all that being said, man, like I said, this is a little short one, pretty much to explain why all that little set tripping had happened, and why maybe some individuals don't like them still to this day, right? But with all that being said, man, like I said, we don't promote violence, none of that stuff. But at the same time, people will want to learn a little bit of history when it comes to a little bit of red on red and set tripping, right? How small a little tagging can be, create like a big ass wave. So with all that being said, man, like I said, I hope you guys liked this video. So if you did, man, put a thumbs up. If you didn't, bro, that's right next to it, homie. It's really your call. But at the same time, make sure to drop a comment and to subscribe. So with all that being said, it's your boy Conejo. Ya saben, man, we out.